Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to make tiny terrariums in little jars like this one. I've already made two before and they worked out pretty well actually, so here's the first one. This one's short and wider and this one's taller and thinner, and they both have gotten to the point where the roots are actually growing up the sides of the glass, but they've grown really well and they haven't died, even though I actually forgot about them for several months. So you actually don't have to water these at all, they just take care of themselves. And I'm going to teach you guys how to make them. Check it out. Alright, so when we're looking for moss to use in the terrariums, there are certain kinds we want to look for and certain kinds we want to avoid. This moss here is kind of hairy and stringy and it looks nice, but we want to avoid that because this moss has already gone to seed, so it's not the best to put in our terrariums. We want to look for moss that looks more like this stuff here. Now to harvest the moss, we're going to use a knife, so if you're a small bean child, get an adult to help you. Just gonna kind of cut a square around it out of the ground. Use the flat end to peel up the piece like that, and then just put it in the container I've got here to hold it in. Alright, so now it's time to assemble the terrariums. The first step is to put in the charcoal, because for some reason that helps filter the whole thing. So what I like to do is just take a sticky note like this and wrap it around to make a sort of a funnel. You can put it in the bottle like this and pour in your charcoal. Just get a spoonful and pour it in. And then, you kind of got to tap it to get it to filter in there. And just a small layer on the bottom is going to be enough. You don't need a lot. So then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the rest of the bottles now. The next step is a layer of soil for the moss to grow roots into. I'm going to use Q-tips to push this in and get it all planted up. Now I don't want to push it in too hard and pack it in, because then the soil won't be able to get air in it and the roots won't be able to grow. But I do want to pack it in far enough that it's not taking up extra space. So now we've got our bottles and we have the dirt and the charcoal in there, but it's kind of hard to see inside of them to put in the moss now. So we're going to take some Q-tips and we're going to clean them off. So the next step is, of course, putting the moss inside of them. So you want to choose a good piece of moss, something that has maybe a little other small plant in it for a piece of interest. And you're going to break it down to a really little piece that you can fit inside of the bottle. And then you're just going to place it in and get one of your Q-tips from earlier or a clean one, it doesn't matter, and just kind of push it in there. Now you want to make sure that the roots get packed down into the dirt and it has a chance to grow. So when you're putting in the water for the terrariums, you just want to get a little trickle going in your sink, and then you want to take it and just dip it in there really fast, maybe twice, and that's it. That's all the water it's going to need. You don't want to put in too much. After waiting some time, here are the fruits of my efforts. I'll do a once over of each one of them. So in the tool one, we've got a stick and 2 rocks as sort of centerpieces as a visual, I don't know what you want to call it. There's a hair stuck to it. For the shorter, wider one, the moss got really green. It did a really good job. I didn't put in any sort of visual aids here to make it more appealing, but as time goes on it'll settle a little bit and the plants will take root a little bit better and it'll look nicer. Lastly, the really small one. Now this one, it didn't take root so well, it didn't do that great, and I think that's because it was so small and I couldn't get the root systems in there very well, so I really wouldn't suggest using the tiny ones.
But stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care, but soon enough you're gonna think of me and how I used to be.